Swung on, belted.
Go ball.
Well. You can
Thank you. Let's go.
Two-run blast. And the Twins have the lead now. It's 5-4. These fans are dealing with some heartbreak right now.
That is clutch. Twitch, clip that, please.
There's one. Over to first. Safe.
I screwed that up myself.
Steps to the plate for the White Sox.
I didn't realize I actually have to throw the ball, right?
That all day.
So it's their last chance in this one. Nasim Nunez.
I don't care about the Icebox the Great. Thank you for being here.
The Nats with the tying run at the plate. They're the home team trying to pull it out.
Well, so many hard-throwing relievers in the game these days. You would think that hitters have made the...
There we go.
Swing and a miss.
Got the save. We are 10 saves out of 35.
Notches her 10th save to ground to first. Over to Kim. One. What a double play that was. Inning over.
I made sure not to touch the bag this time.
It's the big impact here. In the air, right field, pretty well struck. Can't get there, and that should bring in the run. In comes the run from second. Fires the second.
We will take it. Let's go.
Huge game tying.
I am really. He remembers how we did against the Yankees, and they have us batting 8th. We are 8th. With all due respect, we are taking on a hell of a pitcher in Joe Rock, right? But seriously, you got me 8th? I'm batting 262 here. Granted, everybody on the team's batting in the 200s now, finally. Maybe we can get somebody in the 300s.
Top of the 8th.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins.
Oh my God, I missed so bad and I still got it. You know what? Just get in the car. Get in the car. Goodbye. Just go.
Something, and the only thing missing is the movie soundtrack. Let's see if she delivers the Hollywood ending right here.
Take what I want, not what I need.
Swung on, belted.
Go! Go!
It's gone.
Grand slam!
And this place is rocking. And they've rallied from 3 back. It's 6-3.
Let's freaking go! About time!
Needed 1-0.
Easy pour milk. Quick cover. Reversal. Oh my God, the retro ball's got on a roll up. Ontario just couldn't get out of that cover.
Oh,
Super kick!
let go! Let go!
Third!
Let go!
Super kick party! Yeah, pay the money for that.
They seem to be really feeling.
There we go! Let's go! Let's go! No doubt! Over the foul pole! Let's go! I'm getting notes here and notes there and notes. Stimulation is the key word here. Lots of stimulation. Yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mike the Rev Twitch stream. Welcome to the AEW Collision Sidecast. Welcome to AEW Redemption weekend. And welcome to Backbreaker Pro Wrestling Madness. Craziness as always. Good to see everybody here on a Saturday. Tomorrow night, Redemption. I know a lot of people are crapping on the pay-per-view. And just because they feel like it's a B pay-per-view. And you know what? In many ways, it might feel like that. DLW, how in the world are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you well today. Forgive me, chat. Technical issues as always here. didn't show the chat there in... Oh, that's why it's scrolling up here. So my Twitch comments are coming up right. DLW, good to see you here tonight. Good to see everybody here tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Fortunately, I had to work today, but that's done now. It's Saturday. You know what that means? Abso-freaking-lutely. No, if it makes you feel any better, I just finished up a 32-hour shift. And yeah, I've talked about them. Every second Friday, I have to do an on-call shift at work. Unfortunately, this one is one of those where normally I could just sit by my phone and just wait for it and make some answers. But last night, I actually had to go out for half the night. So, yeah, if you're wondering, I am a little bit tired here today. But you know what? That's not going to take me away from what's going to happen tonight because we got a lot of fun coming up. We got the Bucks versus the Death Riders. We got Ciampa versus Wentz. Lethal Twist and Skyflight. We got Persephone coming in. We got Trios Champions versus Trios Champions tonight with the Conglomeration taking on the Outrunners and of course Dalton Castle. His picture's right in front of me and I can't even freaking see him. Jesus. And then we got Willow Nightingale and Maya World taking on Mercedes Moné and Tekla in a bit of a preview of the women's matches that are going to be on the pay-per-view tomorrow. So was not working for 32 hours. That's a lot. I did have nearly a 12-hour workday on Thursday. I wouldn't be able to have much more than that. Well, the way it normally works for me is I get, it is the regular 9-hour day, 8-9-hour day. And then from 4 o'clock till 7 the next morning, you're on call, right? So normally it's just taking phone calls, but if something disastrous happens, you got to go do some emergency repairs. You got to go. Most nights I'm okay and get a little bit of a leeway here, but this week it was literally just one of those bad luck kind of days, right? So, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I got the next 2 days off, so we're going to have a lot of fun here. I got to get working on getting Crossfire set up in 2K here. Got to get Crossfire set up. Got to get the draws for you guys set up. Well, we won't know the draws until after Wednesday because we're trying to figure out who's going to be facing who in the quarterfinals of the Forged by Fire tournament. Yeah, a whole bunch of little things to catch up with here. And yeah, we'll probably get some MLB in on Monday just because, we're free. Well, let's get some time in. We'll figure out where Michelle is going to be heading towards. We were actually hitting a pretty good hot streak on Thursday when we were blast on there. And then yeah, some of the big news that came down. Well, we'll get to the wrestling news here in just a moment because we'll talk a little bit more about that because I'm sure we're gonna get the pile of people in here that want to talk about it during the show. But yeah, the big news coming out of Comic-Con with another X-Men movie coming out in 2027. We also got the announcement that I'm just a little bit, how do I put this here? I don't know if there's any better way to put it. Just a little bit of, I'm a little perplexed. Like right now, this week, we're going to get 2 games in the matter of a week that I really want to play on stream here with Halo Campaign Evolved and Beast of Reincarnation. And then coming up this February, we got Tomb Raider coming out on February 12th, and they just announced that the God of War Lo-Fi game is going to be coming out on the 16th. So 4 days apart. I really hope Tomb Raider is a really quick game. I'm going to have to pick which one I'm going to have to do and just run for a while. Hey, Homer. Good to see you here. So once again, everybody, we are in Nashville, Tennessee tonight. But chat, you are always the 10 I see. Oh, geez, we're starting with Ciampa and Wentz. So, did you guys get a chance to see Wentz's promo on this on X? I believe the words that he used are, I'm going to be stuck to you. Oh, you don't know how well my camera works, my friend. So, yeah. Of course, there is the John Cena thing going on, but of course. But Wentz said, I'm going to stick to you like that theme song of yours is stuck in my head. But yeah, this is going to be interesting tonight. We got Ciampa and Wentz to start off. They got the Painmaker versus Ciampa coming up at the pay-per-view. Which, by the way, I picked up on... oh my God. White's doing more on commentary now? You know, I'm not feeling bad about that. We're going to have to see how this goes, because I would love to see like a third man out there, even if it is a Paul White. Like, honestly, White and Excalibur was actually a really good duo for Dark during the pandemic days. Hey, McGee, how you doing? Hope you're doing well tonight. If you didn't hear, you're going to be in action tonight in our main event in a triple threat with Nick Ontario and Will Jackson. So, well, Ciampa ain't fooling around. Makes sense. You're a main eventer. Well, I'll give you the coin for that. We're also going to have the final matches of pools A and B of the Forged by Fire tournament. Basically, they're just seeding matches at this point. The first 4 competitors have been eliminated. So a preview of what's going to happen. Oh, I see where we're going here. Ciampa's going to attack White, injure him, just to show a bit of a symbol here. Second time Ciampa White guy. Are they going to have a fight? Well, no, they're bringing up Jericho. That's what they're doing. The last time that these guys had a confrontation here, they showed that Ciampa in his promo did mention how much White is a friend of Jericho. So I could see Ciampa going after Jericho after this, or going after White after this match to send a statement to Jericho. All the pieces are working together here a little bit, I see. But how you doing today? How is everybody? Like, I know DLW said you worked a hell of a day today. McGee, I hope you had a great day today as well. But yeah, we are... we have a very interesting week ahead of us here, and I know the bit. You're on holidays. Oh, there. You know what? Let's just. We'll give you one of those, just so you suck, but congratulations, sir. I was very happy for you. Oh, they're actually bringing up a little bit more Ring of Honor. I'm actually happy about that. It's been interesting. They've been starting to do a little bit more free shows on YouTube for Ring of Honor. So it's basically turned into a big category of can you top this, right? When it comes to a lot of the stuff going on. Since I got off X Twitter, I haven't paid any attention to attendance and viewership, but I saw AEW's viewership going up. It's been going up steadily, yeah. But I love the fact that, I guess you necessarily don't have to pay attention to something to notice something's going up. So I'll give you a pass on that one there. But yeah, the eyes are getting onto it. But once again, the big news this week. Chat, let me throw something at you here. Let me throw a word curveball at you here. Is it just me? Or is it every time AEW has a pay-per-view, there's always something from WWE that tries to take the attention away from the pay-per-view? I think this is the first time that it actually might have worked for a little bit. Don't care so much about ratings at 10. I like AEW, and I'm watching regardless of who else. Hey, you know what? I get you right there, and I love that DLW. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I love both promotions. I love I love a lot of the wrestlers involved. The biggest difference for me between the two promotions, and the reason why we stream AEW here all the time, is the fact they don't waste our time. Like, it feels like when you're into it, you're getting a quality number of matches. Everything's staying solid. Everything's staying true. You're not sitting through endless commercials. Is the booking great? I think both promotions are good can have some good booking, but they also have a lot of stuff they need to work on. Nobody's perfect. But yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, isn't it a bit of a story that every time AEW has a pay-per-view, there's got to be something. And this week it was the introduction of WWE Radio that's going to be joining the airwaves on Monday. Now, I'm going to say this. I've received a lot of feedback, a lot of DMs asking me my thoughts about it. I say the same thing over and over again. You can speculate about what's going to be going on and how things are going to change and how things are going to stay the same. A couple things we know for sure about the changes on WWE Radio. Coachman and Thunder Rosa have both stepped aside from there, whether it was voluntary or involuntary. But, here comes Ciampa the knee. Everything else, we'll have to wait and see. Red Thunder Rosa was not voluntary. Well, she didn't say she was fired. And unless she's actually saying she was fired, I'm not going to say otherwise. Because frankly, it's not my goddamn business. But you can read between the tea leaves about what's going on, right? And in the post that Thunder Rosa put out there, she did specifically thank Tony Khan for being such a great boss, allowing her to do what she did for as long as she did. But frankly, I'm sure Bully and LaGreca, well, here's the reason why they're happy. I think it's a very good business move. Absolutely it is. Very intrigued by the idea of radio broadcasts and wrestling. I may try to listen to SummerSlam just to... All right. So, here's the fun part, DLW. I'm old enough that I remember radio broadcasts of wrestling. Because in the early part of WWE and, well, I guess that time WWF, entering into the online realm, they actually did have play-by-play for their matches on the radio. And Ciampa just, yeah, no, we're finishing this. If you've ever listened to a sports game on a radio, if you got the right commentary team, you will get that same feeling as you go along. And respectfully, that's what I hope they get. I have one worry. Oh, Ciampa's getting on the mic here. We can get back to it in just a sec here. I want to hear what Ciampa's got to say. Ciampa's got... What the fuck is he doing? He's trying to recreate the Painmaker here. This match is not only going to be... Why do you keep focusing back on Paul? That's the question I have here. There's a closing shot. If you want to see a still frame that you want for a pay-per-view sell, what if we don't go to sleep? First rim shot of the night, DLW. Congratulations. It's gonna be fun. You know what? I'm no holds barred might be the best thing to do in a match like this. Jericho's got to do less bullshit. I'm all right. Well, we got this ladder match here. I forgot that we got qualification matches too tonight. Is it just me or did Mike Bailey just walk off Wall Street? Or, no, better yet. You guys remember the movie Cocktail? Yeah, he looks like he just came out of the bar after serving for 8 hours. At least Bailey's going to be on the pay-per-view, right? Like, that's the one... That's going to be fun. And speaking of fun, we got the Bucks versus the Death Riders coming up here in just a moment. But going back to the comment about the WWE radio for the pay-per-view, the only thing I hesitate about when it came to this, in the press release, they said Booker T is going to be on play-by-play for WWE radio.
What the hell is that?
If he commentates like he does on TV, like Vic, I think knows that he's going to have to change his cadence up and keep things going. Because calling a match on radio and calling a match on TV are two totally different things. When it comes to calling a match on radio, you don't have that privilege of having the picture in front of you to piece together the different things that are going on. You literally have to call everything as you go. If Booker wants to get his little side comments in, he's going to have to do it like during the collar and elbows, and he's going to have to do it like if there's headlocks involved and whatnot. So funny how Moxley never gets involved in those circle huddles. Thinks he's probably going to get a concussion out of it. By the way, shout out to John Moxley, who showed up at Pro Wrestling Revolver last night and actually worked a match. Booker is just bad. His entire shtick is the lady's attractive. Well, that's what, like I said, that's what I'm worried about. Like, WWE radio play-by-play might work. Trust me, when I'm at work and I have to, I get stuck in a work truck for 4 or 5 hours for a while. I love listening to a hockey game on the radio. Keeps me entertained for quite a bit. But if you're not going to tell me what's going on, well, it will work, not because it's good, but because WWE fans are loyal to a fault. Yeah, we'll see. It's paid numbers, right? And like, I do know some people have given up their subscription already. Some people have actually messaged me and said their subscription's done because of this move here. We can speculate all we want about what's going to happen. I will say they will generate a high number on Monday, just because everybody's going to want to know what they're actually going to do on there. My opinion is if they are going to cover anything outside of WWE, including AEW, it's going to be very short, very sweet, very to the point. Then they're going to move on to something else. Some of the biggest WWE fans have been very local on how bad SmackDown is, but they never stop watching, so same, yeah. Hell, it was funny. We even had JD from New York bitching about it. But then you watch the rest of his video about it, and you realize, oh, well, I'm going to try and see if I can work with them still. You're just trying to be a carny. So, whatever works for you, I guess. Forgot he existed? Well, he's got a voice. It's there. I don't really watch a lot. It's just the clip was brought to me a couple times. So that's why it came up to me at all here. I think universally, anybody that... Well, add the fact that Andrew Badala, who was covering WWE covering WWE and wrestling in general for ESPN, he got fired here just a week ago. Or hell, it was earlier this week. They just had to wait until this next set of, like, they did it as a group bunch of cuts. But we all know why that happened. TKO turned around and says, why the hell are your guys giving us such low reviews for shows that are on our network? I love the fact that Moxley's actually breaking down this match and the reason why the Bucks are taking as much advantage as they are. It's because they are running this match at this pace. And once again, the pace of the match is going to determine who's going to be successful. I know we're a day early, and we'll talk more about predictions during the show tomorrow. But who do you got between the Bucks and Mox and Ospreay? I wonder if Mox eats the pin for the first time in a very long time. For me personally, I think most obvious choice would have Ospreay pinning one of the Bucks. Because let's face it, the Bucks are bulletproof at this point. West Coast referees, Rick Knox. Attaboy, Mox. All right, we are into a picture-in-picture, which so far is still picture-in-picture. Well, nope, there it goes. Yeah, full commercial break up here in Canada, so. But no, like, the thing that disappoints me the most more than anything is the fact that there's always something coming up trying to distract people from the fact that AEW does have a pay-per-view. And by the way, if you guys are complaining about ticket sales or whatever, or wondering about ticket sales for the pay-per-view, go back and check my clip. I think it's one of my top clips right now about my reasons why I think they're not selling as much as people expected them to. It's just way too damn obvious. As much as I appreciate all you guys here, and don't get me wrong here, but if you're in Montreal, where it's cold a lot of the year, and you got a red hot summer night on a weekend where you can escape town, you're probably going to escape town. And that's good to see you here tonight. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're ready to be in the corner of your tag partner there, Nick Ontario, later tonight. As we're going to be having a triple threat match in our main event here tonight between Will Jackson, Nick Ontario, and MCG. And if you haven't hung around for an episode of Madness, there is a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. It is our little E-Fed. We do have a PLE coming up August 9th. Most of the Montreal population is down south in the USA.
Sir, no, sir!
I'll just put it straight up there for you. Nah, I don't think so. Honestly, I think most of them are just at a local lake. The kind of weather, like, today is the first day that we're supposed to be cooling down. Like, the first set of clouds were just rolling in, just as stream was starting tonight here in Edmonton. Like, we were supposed to be getting down to, like, 18 or 12. Huge question for me. All right, go ahead. Go nuts. Go nuts. I wonder it's going to be about anything we just covered. But, no, in all seriousness, I think this is going to be a great show regardless of how many people are going to be there. And I don't think people should really concern themselves about being there. The one extra bonus we have, Nat, send me a DM on that. We shouldn't. I would love to. Just let me know what you need so I can film it tomorrow for you. Been listening to Cheap Heat for a long time, way before they were Pro Wrestling Nation. I will continue to listen. They help keep me up with WWE, and when I mostly watch AEW, I don't expect to be much for changing the main shows on the channel because it's rebranded. That's fair. And like I said, I don't fault anybody for listening, watching. It's the way to gather information, right? Like, it's no different. It really is no different than seeing, like, for example, I always watch Wrestle Talk on Mondays. That way I can get caught up, Mondays and Tuesdays, so I can get caught up on SmackDown and Raw. Or I'll check out Simon Miller, who talks a lot about SmackDown on Saturday mornings. Like, while I'm having my coffee and getting my breakfast together, I'll watch the 20-minute video where he's explaining everything that happened the night before. So, perfect. Just think there's an opportunity for some AEW focus shows. The biggest problem AEW's always had, and they have been getting a little better, is promotion. It's always been a problem. Like, AEW Unrestricted, it was there, it was good. But it lived its course for what it's going to be. You could bring it back in a couple of years when the rosters rotated around a little bit. it helped people learn a little bit more about what's going on with the wrestlers that they have involved. Like, basically little interviews, learning about pasts of people in wrestling and whatnot. I love Mox right now. All these fancy tassels flying everywhere. Eee! Nvidia's getting pissed off because I'm doing all the wee. I think there's like you said, there is an opportunity there to get more AEW shows up. Not that I know, like there's no AEW sponsored ones. They just announced that they're canceling the Heels program, which I honestly feel is... I can't speak to anything that's going on outside of WWE or outside of AEW. But I do have to say, when I saw the AEW Heels thing at in Edmonton, it was more an autograph meet and greet thing with Aubrey, more than it was having anybody talk about AEW Heels. Oh, and here goes Pac and Claudio, which means we'll probably get the CNC Wrestling Factory out here soon. And in terms of current podcasts, I can't think of one. Their social media is just... It's been rather limited. They've also had their gaming stuff that's off right now. Because they got... Ha! There we go. Here comes CNC Wrestling Factory. Oh! Claudio got his receipt. And so did Pac. Oh, that was pretty sweet, right? We said we didn't see him on Wednesday. There was only that one segment. Once again, it's the Bucks putting it into high gear. And we're done. Meltzer driver at its finest to get the victory here. We basically got a mini pay-per-view match. By the way, I forgot to pull this off here. I will promise I will be better with the button later. For those that are new here, that is our distraction and interference button. Logan, how the heck are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. We're having some fun here. Collision's turning out to be a blast. I'll be perfectly honest, I am very tired today. Glad that I got... I decided to go with the gamer subs tonight instead of just iced tea. Not too bad. Good to hear you. Watch it a lot. And Ospreay literally... They literally both hit their finishers out of nowhere. Kenny's not going to be very happy about this. Ospreay's turning into an absolute killer right now. You wonder if he's going to, like, We're talking about that heel face dynamic at AEW. I wonder if they're actually going to pull it off here somehow. But no, I hope everybody's going to be here tomorrow. Just a reminder, we will be here 1 hour earlier than normal for pay-per-views. The pre-show starts at 6 Eastern. So I will be here at 6 Eastern. They haven't announced any matches for the pre-show yet, but you know there's going to be 3 of them. Because I know they have Mick Foley as a talking head, but they don't like to focus on the talking heads all the time. Whoa! Ospreay leaving through the crowd. Instead of heading down the middle, instead of heading down the rampway, he literally went through the oh my God, they got John Cena and Nature's Own Bread commercial. We got about 2 seconds of it before it cut out, so. But no, what match are you guys looking forward to most tomorrow? That's the question I got for you. What match are you guys looking forward to most tomorrow? Because I don't think it's going to be Kevin Knight and Kenny Omega for a lot of people. While it's going to remind me a lot of Hangman and Kyle Fletcher from All Out last year, where, yeah, it's going to be a good match, but we don't expect anything to change in terms of titles or anything like that. For the nostalgia pop, honestly, the tag title match might do it for me. Willow and Tekla, yeah, I would have to say, like, I know it's not going to happen, and I'll be a little disappointed about it, but that could be a main event. That honestly could be your main event tomorrow night, and it would not hurt my feelings. I don't think it would hurt a lot of people's feelings. If the first ever women's main event in AEW would be the Tekla versus Willow, the crowning of Willow as champion, if that's the case. Now, chat, the other question. Do they, when it comes to Willow and Tekla, and we'll talk about more of this during the main event, but do they change the title or do they make it a screwy finish? If they make it a screwy finish, there is a possibility they could do a 3-way at All In. Personally, I would love to just get it on Willow and then have that Willow Mercedes. I've already pre-booked this about 6 months down the road already in my head. Yes, I know, Mike, get the video up. You're supposed to be doing this video a long time ago. I'm working on it. I will say this has been a crazy time of year for me here. A little bit more than usual just before, But, yeah, I honestly feel it is going to be Willow versus Mercedes. I think Mercedes wins it. I think Davina Rose makes an appearance after the main event. Or after Mercedes wins the title. And that place comes absolutely unglued. And the main event of All Out ends up being Mercedes and... oh, God. No. You turn back there. Oh, yes. They showed the Comic-Con fight. So last year they had a pull-apart brawl at Comic-Con. This year they have a pull-apart brawl at Comic-Con. I love Tony Khan doing the guys, behave, guys, smarten up. Oh, somebody get hold of Zodiac. We got Persephone on our screens here, folks. I wonder if they're gonna I wonder if they remember all the everybody wants to cheer for Persephone right now, but she's trying to heal it up. Yeah. And Helica might be heading to and Helica might not be going that way right away. He might be going that way. That did not look. That looked like, get over here, bitch. I'm going to hit you in the claw for his. So, yeah, Grand Slam Mexico, August 5th. That's going to be our go home show for. That's going to be the go home night for BPW. Because there's going to be no stream on the Saturday that week. I don't know what's going on with our streaming schedule next week for AEW. They haven't announced whether... Last year, they actually ran Collision up against SummerSlam. I wonder if they do it again this year. Because according to the TBS reports, or TNT reports, they don't have any changes this month. Like, they're scheduled every Saturday. All right, you're dead. Shout out to Rhea Ripley. We miss her all with that pin. Sucks that she's been out there for as long as she has, and then... Sucks that she's been out for so long. She had to get that title stripped and whatnot. I just hope she gets a proper recovery. Her and Buddy just got some bad luck right now. Buddy apparently has been medically cleared. So we might see him sooner than later. Where? I'm not sure. Uh-oh. So that's going to be the intermediary feud going before All In. It's so funny. Billy's like, what, 22? And just towers over both of them. This is going to be a lot of fun, folks. So, Lethal Twist is actually brought up... they were basically being the muscle for the... Oh, here they are, the Demand. The Demand promised that they would not touch the conglomeration for the Trios titles, but they said the Lethal Twist will very easily. Oh my God. Can we have a few more people at... Oh God. So... This is a hell of a combination here. We have 7 people on commentary. Can I just... I'm just going to call it right now. Even White's like, what the hell is this? Jarrett's there with a guitar. He literally has a guitar at ringside right now, so this could be... We have more people at ringside than we do around the ring. Or is it the same amount? All right, heads up. There we go. That's officially what I was waiting for. Next week, we got AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. We got AEW Collision on Thursday next week. We're going to have to... What I think we're probably going to end up doing is running BPW Madness on Friday. Stay tuned with that. I'll have this all figured out by tomorrow during the pay-per-view. What a team is this, Mike? So, what had happened here, and it is a hell of a team, and they know how to fly. If you haven't heard, Matt Sydal is off injured Matt Sydal was injured for the better part of 2 years with a knee issue. And the respect that they had between Sydal and Christopher Daniels led to some backstage talk about where Sydal was going to go. Sydal was courted by Skyflight to join them, especially since Darius, I believe, is injured again. So if they want to run a trios, they need him there. But they also Matt Sydal came out in his very first interview before talking to Skyflight. It was the Demand that came over and said, you're a hell of a talent. You could fit in right well with the Demand because you could be a person who is in demand. They got interrupted by Skyflight, who basically chased off the Demand, and basically that's where this match came from. So if you're looking to put all the pieces together, what's going on, there's a lot of backstage vignettes. And that's the interesting thing. Like with Collision, they're not known for their backstage stuff. But a lot of the feuds that are going on right now in AEW are simply based off of Collision backstage vignettes. Like, you want to talk about the Skyflight versus the Demand setup, the way this went? And with the lethal twist coming in to cause a little bit of consternation and getting involved in the situation. And then another feud that you want to talk about is the Bang Bang Gang versus the Dogs. Like, last week's promos, which sort of backfired on AEW a little bit, as apparently the promo that the Bang Bang Gang did at the Dog Pound with those two dogs that were held up was actually a sponsorship promo from the Dog Pound. And everybody thought it was just a made-up gimmick for that. Until 2 days later, AEW had to come out and say, no. These are actual dogs that are up for adoption. Sorry, Twitch had a network error there for a second, so I'm just like, what the hell? From on my preview screen, it said that everything just disappeared for a minute there, so it's just, ugh. But yeah, we're almost an hour in. We've had a lot of great matches, and also helping out to sell some pay-per-views too, like the appearance by Cope and Cage. We talked about that on Wednesday, the fact that they weren't around, so a little bit tough in those situations to actually have that go on. So as we come back from commercial break, and once again, another story, and that is something that we talked about before. Trios matches, 8-person matches, tag matches. It's always better to have these kind of matches before, or especially before, but also after a pay-per-view. And let's face it, as much as there is a lot of action, a lot of organization to be involved, a lot of people get to basically set themselves up to be a part of the match rather than be involved in the match. I love the fact that Ricochet and White are just going at it on commentary. Oh my God. Like, Jarrett's about ready to get... Jarrett's going to crack somebody with that guitar. I almost guarantee it at this point. I love how Jarrett just... He's got a perfect way of just needling. Like, I know a lot of people are building to Jarrett versus Lethal. It wouldn't surprise me. It would be just a... it would be a collision feud. It wouldn't be anything more than that. Jarrett says he still wants to wrestle, but he's not really pushing for it right now. And for the record, he never did expect to win the Owen that one year. It's just they had a weird booking hitch that they actually ended up putting Jarrett in that spot against Hangman. Mr. Zodiac, we put an APB out for you earlier. Persephone was already on the show tonight, so hope you're doing well, sir. We are currently, if you're just catching up, we are currently in a match where there's more people on there's as many people on commentary as there is in the ring right now. We got 7 outside, 7 inside, including the referee. JJ had some of the best promos of career during. Absolutely. And the best thing about Jarrett in those cases is just simply that he was being honest. Don't think he needed to win the Owen. Just having him win the tournament was cool. Yeah, for me, the biggest issue I had with the booking of that, put Lethal put Jarrett in a different match where he's not going to be dominating over. Distraction spot by Ricochet, of course. Leads to the lethal twist victory. And it's been a while since we've seen a lethal twist victory, so, this ain't the worst thing in the world. But this is also somewhat under the category of 2 teams that always lose, somebody's got to win. I appreciate that Ricochet's still wearing his Philadelphia Eagles hat, even though they haven't won anything in a very long time. By the way, did you guys hear about the coach of the 49ers? Apparently got his entire face just absolutely mangled. Ribs are broken. Scars, and he got in a nasty accident, so all the best wishes to Kyle Shanahan in his recovery, but all right, chat. We've got an hour. We've gone through a bunch of these matches already. Out of 10, what's your excitement level for Redemption at this point? the part that scares me is when Mick turns around and says, "Don't overlook Montreal," which very well makes people overlook Montreal. One thing I've learned, one lesson I've learned in life improvement tips by Mike the Ref here for you folks. Try to not use the word not. Or as I call it, try avoid using the word not when you're trying to convince somebody or talk to somebody about something. Because when you tell somebody not to do something, they seem to forget about it. They forget about the word not, and then they just do whatever's left in the sentence. Matches 7, who may show up 9. Excitement 7, DLW. I'll be honest, I'll throw mine at about an 8. This reminds me of a lot. This whole weekend. It's like telling a kid to walk rather than don't run. Exactly. Because when you give people an option, rather than telling them not to do something, you tell them to do something, they have a tendency to follow you a lot better. That's sort of the slogan. Like, if you guys look at the logo that we have, like, I think it's up there in the corner. I keep forgetting that I'm at an angle to the camera. It says right on the bottom there, be part of the solution. Spent too much of my life trying to complain about the problems. There's ways to figure out solutions, and smart ways too. Almost all the matches are overly telegraphed. It's like the matches outside the Rumble on the Royal Rumble. Yeah. What this pay-per-view reminds me of a lot, if you want to go back to the Attitude Era, the No Way Out pay-per-views. You had that one final pay-per-view before Mania that you really didn't expect much on in terms of, and sometimes the Rumbles themselves. Yeah, fair enough. That's why, like, one of the biggest moments in No Way Out history was No Way Out 2004 when, before they had all the internet buzz, the fact that Eddie Guerrero defeated Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Will Kevin White win? No. Does anyone see Willow not winning? Not really. No, I think in terms of results, I think almost everything is lined up. Like, the only question marks I have are, for example, Dunkzilla versus Andrade. Do they want to give the national title to Andrade, or do they want to screw him out so they can go further up? The TBS title, Shida and Maya World, which I think I've already rested my case in why I'm a little confused about that. The problem about the national title is it's the national title. Yeah, like, Davis has done a lot to try to, get it out there and get it working, but it's almost like you have a title and you don't know what to do with it. And yes, I do understand I have a bit of a problem with that with BPW right now, as AWS hasn't been seen on TV for a while. But I do have a story behind that, but I will get to it. So, part of the problem with the 2015 Rumble, where Roman won and got booed up by The Rock, is they only built Roman and Bryan as contenders. Once Bryan was out early, everyone knew the finish. Yeah. And I've always said, like, when it comes to these pay-per-views, there's two different scenarios that you got to wonder. Scenario A, who's going to win? It's either who's going to win. Is it going to be person A or person B, champion or challenger? Or B, we all know champions retaining. Or we all know that challenger is winning. How much can they make us believe that the other situation? That I could see Maya beating Shida. I don't think I want to. I'm a little worried about that myself, but at the same time, they're really starting to build a strong character with Shida. And I don't know if they want to continue breaking that up. The best way to build the Rumble is have a bunch of contenders. They don't do that every year. That's fair. And that's where we go with a lot of promotions, right? And that's the best thing about AEW right now. The fact that, well, let's face it, we got maybe 6 guys right now that are lined up. Let's not even forget about MJF, who won't be on the pay-per-view tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be around for All In. I'm still putting my money on the fact that it'll be Andrade and MJF at Wembley. Just because the ring is still in Andrade's possession here. Your feed of TNT just died? Okay, fair enough. Stats title reign ended abruptly, so it's not like TK won't just pull triggers on. And that's another thing. Well, the thing with Tekla, but Tekla's surprised, so who knows? Your TNT feed's dead too? Well, we'll see here, because instead of a picture-picture feed, mine's just literally... We literally get commercials right now, so... And the weird part is this is a tape show, so... Makes you wonder how things are going to go there, so... Not good to have your feed die literally the day of... the day before a pay-per-view, right? But yeah, in terms of everything else on the card, like the 6-way ladder match, it's going to say a lot about what's going to be coming up on the Pirate Land's dead too. Well, let's see here. Canada Land is dead too. Because we're back on solid commercial breaks here right now. We'll see how things go. We'll stick around here for a little bit and see how it goes. You wonder if TK paid his bill or not. I got a feeling there's probably some storm issues down that way. Once again, this is not in Nashville. This is a tape show from Wednesday. So it is a little different circumstance from being just a regular. Unless somebody forgot to put... I have a feeling TK doesn't have a problem paying them bills. Fair enough. But yeah, in terms of... Like, as we go through the pay-per-view, as I'm looking at the pay-per-view card and just throwing it off the top of my head, like I said, Claudio and Pac versus CNC should be a very fun match. I expect good things out of that. I also expect... I expect the ladder match to be a ladder match as to what you expect, but the winner of the ladder match could say a lot about who's going to win the match between Bandito and Kyle Fletcher. And I'll be honest, I don't expect Bandito to win. I think you are getting way too close to setting up Okada versus Fletcher. And I think a lot of people would want to see Okada versus Fletcher here at this point, so... But yeah, like the Bucks versus Moxley and Ospreay. you're probably going to get a Ospreay win over the Bucks just to get that momentum going. It wouldn't surprise me if Ospreay does a little kill job on the Bucks. All right, let's see if they figure this out yet. Yep, we're back, folks. I don't know if you guys are... Have you guys got your feedback? Because right now I just got both guys on the outside. Let me know if you got it. If you don't, I'll pull a WWE radio. You're back too? Cool. See, if you guys were interested, I'd almost be willing to do a, maybe on a random week, do a play-by-play experience for you guys based on AEW. I do have that experience in doing that, so I just haven't called a full-blown match like that. Like, I remember we did this once when the commentary went dead. The audio went dead on a random Dynamite one night. But that was only one match. Well, I always do it for Backbreaker Pro. Well, for Backbreaker Pro, I normally won't. It's a different audience I'm working for there. I do am recording it on... basically, if you're going to do something like that, you need to do it without actually having a picture available. That's the best way to explain it. I'm doing it for a different audience, so I don't want to do it on a Backbreaker Pro show. Because you literally, when you do that, you do it to paint people a picture. But you know what? Maybe if you guys are interested enough in me possibly doing that, let me know and maybe I'll set up a sub goal for us to do it. I don't want to do a points goal because, well, Zodiac will fill that in about 3 days. And the only reason I say 3 days is because there are daily caps to how much you can put in. What was that, 293,000 points right now or something to that effect there? Are we doing a top rope sliced bread here? 276, my apologies. I figured I was close, but... Oh, here we go. Fisherman Buster. Nick Wayne in the ladder match. Nick's getting his first ever pay-per-view spot, folks. Or is it first or second? First match, I do believe. Because he was involved in a Christian versus Jungle Boy match, I do believe. Now, does Mother Wayne come out for the pay-per-view? Like, that's the reason that's the thing everybody's worried about. I just played that sound for no apparent reason whatsoever. So we got 5 out of the 6. We're going to determine the 6th one later tonight. Leo Rush, El Clone. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be Rush. Just for the momentum. I think he's been on pay-per-view, but only on tag matches. Okay, Darby. Darby going to go for a dumpster match? I see the dumpster back there, so maybe. All right, folks, time for... Oh, God, here we go. Marble time. So, the ROH Trios titles are not on the line, but the AEW ones are here tonight. Which doesn't hurt my feelings. The fact that, ROH titles should be defended on ROH TV. The reason I like Dalton Castle's entrance is he's always got a running commentary coming down to the ring. He's even talking about the fact that he hasn't been on TV in forever. He didn't even want to get lifted over the ropes this time. Usually the Outrunners will do it over the ring for him. Oh, God. There's that one guy whose hand is just not... He's going into the gimmick a little too well, if you ask me. I wonder if the boys are still, the original boys are still suing AEW or not. Ha! You fucked up. You fucked up. The one boy fucked up by not taking the leg out. Oh, dang it. It's nice to see the Trios titles being defended finally. How long has it been? Granted, with AEW, a month feels like a year. The only reason I'm upset about this with the backpack thing, only in tag trio matches, yeah. Thank you for checking that out, DLW. It's what I love about you guys. You guys are also a very good research department for me here. Once we get a little bigger here, we're going to actually get some mods and, we'll have a research staff that we can... So, folks, when the video keeps popping in and out, that's actually a Twitch thing because my connection is not going anywhere right now. Mine is perfectly all over, perfectly here, so I don't know what's going on. Truth, you might want to take the title off today. Oh, no, it's Turbo. Sorry, Turbo's got to take the title off. I wonder how long it's going to take for him to realize either he has the title on or if... maybe he's using it as arch support. I don't know. Boo! See, for me, when it comes to AEW, the one thing I always loved about Collision, the pre-pay-per-view collisions, almost felt like a mini a mini pay-per-view amongst itself. And these matches are part of it, right? Like none of these 6... Oh, God. None of these 6 people are on the pay-per-view. Oh my God, really? Well, good to have a little bit of comedy as we go here. Did Truth sweat through too much of that hat? Half of his head is red. Yeah, he's always had that problem. And here's the other thing. Chicken fight! Remsburg looks like such a moron. He's like, turns around. Hey, these guys are having a great time. Don't worry. They know what they're doing. All of a sudden, there's a Pier 6 on the outside. We need a little bit of comedy as we go along here. Chicken fights are super fun with hookers. I think that might be... Maybe we'll go with that. You were into second board for sounds there, sir, on that one. Once again, we're back to a commercial. I would wish they would skip the commercial break for this one just because they had the extra one there, so... What, are you ordering chicken or are you... I'm assuming you're ordering chicken, Nats. Because we are a TVMA stream, right? No comment? I don't know whether that sound applies to me getting away from the comment or Zodiac heading over to your place. You guys take that sound whatever way you want right now, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not... It's one of my favorite motions at work. When somebody starts giving me grief, I just... Not mine. In the words of Marshawn Lynch, take care of y'all's chicken. That's fair. I find it rather ironic because I was a little late getting home from work today, so I had to pick up some takeout. And of course, that's KFC, right? So... Last night was a takeout sub, so tonight was... So today was a little KFC treatment for myself. So it's Florida, can go many ways. Hey, Hoagie Man, good to see you here tonight. Yeah, with Zodiac, I don't know which way he's going to turn at that point. So that's a hell of a drive, though. Virginia to from Florida to Virginia, that would be a hell of a travel time here. But how you doing tonight, Mr. Hoagie Man? I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. We're having a ton of fun here watching the only 18 hours. So you're saying there's a chance. And just a heads up for you on Twitch here, there is an ad break coming up in 3 minutes here. So if you don't have Twitch Turbo and you're not subbed, unfortunately, you're going to have to suffer 90 seconds away from me here. I know. Where is it here? I know, but I'm sorry, you're going to have to bear with. Been looking for a while playing Final Fantasy X, trying to get my characters... Oh, a little bit of grinding going away there, yeah. No, I appreciate the lurk and appreciate having you here. And yeah, we've been... the good old-fashioned 80s jump out of the ring. In other words, don't. Autocorrect on hookers. Oh, Jesus. We drove from Pennsylvania to Georgia, then to Florida, back up to Pennsylvania. Ugh. The longest drive I think I've had personally, and this is not counting being on a bus or anything. The longest drive I've ever had on a bus is from Redwater, which is about an hour north of Edmonton. Drove down to Calgary, down the Trans-Canada to Winnipeg, and then down to North Dakota for a band competition, which I ended up getting sick at, so I couldn't even participate in, so I got right back on the bus and back up. So, driven 22 from Virginia to Key West. Driving myself, I'd have to say 8 hours, and that was for a wrestling show. If you guys go back on the Backbreaker video page, Pure Power Wrestling out of Lethbridge, there's a couple shows that I've actually called down there, which I had a fun time with. I will say that promotion there is one of the most fun ones I've dealt with. Longest drive multi-day was Chicago to San Antonio. 1 day is Jacksonville to Chicago. Jesus. Yeah, but aren't you programmed to drive like 48 hours without rest? I thought that's what certain kind of training would do to you. They actually brought up Hangman. I'm shocked. Work that long? Yes. So that's the spot they were using for that title. For Truth. To do the four-corner drive. Jesus. I would not want to do the four-corner drive. Four corners of America, that's... Well, Canada, that's just normal, but... The world's biggest body... Uh-oh. Here it comes. Hangman, I expect to show up tomorrow. If not, it was weird to come back for one night and then disappeared again. It could be a possibility he shows up on Wednesday. Because here's the weirdest part for me. He says he's looking for a title. Well, it looked like he was going to go after Fletcher. But now they're doing a ladder match for the trios titles. The only other thing I could think of, and this could be a real dirty move, somebody in that ladder match gets hurt and Hangman takes the place. Oh, and question, folks, I got to ask you. Real important question here. What do they use to symbolize the number one contendership for the international title in the ladder match? Is it a contract? Is it a clipboard? Is it a briefcase? Is it the golden donut that they used for Scorpio Sky? Or no, it was Powerhouse Hobbs that won the golden donut, I believe. Poker chip? Maybe. Driven from New Jersey to my Michigan and back myself. Takes like 12 hours because I made some stops because I'm not a robot. Fair enough. Could use a poker chip, and I want the golden donut Sonic ring. And there's the quick roll-up by Orange. You knew it wasn't going to be a finisher. It was going to be like a quick finish. Quick finish something. Got to pause my game so I can eat, so I can check on the laundry, hey. Unfortunately, games that don't have auto grind, that's going to happen, right? Make it a fleur-de-lis because Quebec. Yeah, have Speedball win it as he gets the fleur-de-lis. Oh, and here comes the lethal swirl in demand. So, all right, folks, here we go. We are going to get a 12-man tag on the pre-show tomorrow. I can tell this right now. I expect this to come up in about, in a few minutes. Ciampa beat Jericho in Clearwater. Why exactly is he asking for redemption against Chris? Well, he wants to... He's sorry because he had to use the sand to beat him. He wants redemption because he wants a clean win to prove that he is the best against Jericho. Thought they just said conglomeration for his lethal twist. I might have missed that on commentary. Oh my God, Jarrett with a guitar. I knew that guitar was going to reach somebody. Oh my God, he missed. Jarrett on TBS. We now have a new kitchen floor. Hey! So Jarrett missed with the guitar here. Congratulations on the new kitchen floor. I hope it's fancy linoleum. Jarrett and Tony Schiavone are TNT legends. Absolutely. Well, hell, Jarrett brought wrestling back to TNT after WCW went under. So they're going to do the women's tag as a main again. So it looks like AEW Collision is going to be the women's main event every week now. I will take that as a win. Good for Jeff to hit that, but I wish he would have hit a little higher because he hit it right on the edge of the guitar. So yeah, that could actually hurt Ricochet. If you would have got it about another couple inches higher, it would have run right through the plyboard. I did, except for one, Nats. Don't forget, and Jarrett even admits this is the lowest point of his career. It was a show in Alberta where Jeff left early. It was his last show before he checked himself into rehab. It took an RCW show here in Calgary. He realized he was going that low. And, had to check himself into rehab after that. You know it's bad when. Met Jeff in Nashville 2019. This would have been... Yeah, this would have been before that. Because I think Jeff went into rehab at like 2018. Yeah, because that's when I was still with RCW. That makes sense, yeah. Because he was supposed to wrestle in a War Games match in Edmonton the next night, but he just literally disappeared. Nobody knew why. And then Monday we found out he checked into rehab. So that promotion drove him crazy enough that he had to go check himself into rehab. So it was at a rodeo in Nashville. Isn't that like every second day there's a rodeo there? It's either a country music concert or rodeo every single week in Nashville, isn't there? Like every second day kind of thing. But yeah, in all seriousness, no, folks, I'm glad Jarrett's cleaned himself up. I'm glad that everything's gone well for him, and I'm glad he's in AEW doing what he does. Like, he helps a lot backstage, and a lot of people do that, right? This was August of 19. Lots of pre-COVID, there was a lot more going on in terms of tourism all across the world, especially in the United States. And I know things haven't been the best post-COVID, but you got to hope things turn a little better as we go along here.
Is to become the AEW World Champion. But when an opportunity falls out of the sky, you take it.
Might be lots of rodeos, but not all of them have Jeff Jarrett.
Ladder match of redemption. Shot at the AEW. Wow. How ironic. Jack Perry talking about opportunities.
Imagine Kenny drops the title tomorrow. Could you imagine the talk if Kenny dropped the title tomorrow to Kevin Knight?
Like me, since I was 9 years old, I had to chase opportunities, take them, and run with them. And clearly, not one opportunity of mine has flopped. So this Saturday,
Are you sure about that, Nick?
become the #1 contender for the AEW.
Just want to remind Nick that his debut match against Swerve Strickland
And show you what a young pillar is supposed to look like.
had, I think, 800 fans in Saskatoon. It's another one of those summertime collisions in Canada.
By yourself. Yeah. And you're going to have to do a lot more of that. Now that you don't have your sugar daddy anymore. So I'll see you Sunday at Redemption. Make the most of it.
But yeah, I do think Nick Wayne is actually taller than Perry's a tiny, tiny guy. That's why that gimmick of him walking through this, looking more defined in tone. Yeah, well, let's put it this way: if you've been down for pretty much a year because of a broken ankle, that doesn't mean you can't work the top half of your body, right? I really hate. That's where I was going, Nats. I feel bad for Clone because Hologram they did a couple promos with him, and then all of a sudden, nobody sees him. If Clone wins this, there could be a chance that Hologram shows up tomorrow. However, I don't expect Clone to win this. Because I think you want to ride that. If El Clone wins this match, he's in that 6-way ladder match for the International. Winner of this gets into that ladder match. Slithering to the ring. Then Hologram takes out the mask and it's Eric Rowan. It was funny. If you watch the ROH show from yesterday, I got some clips that I was watching. And Leo had a title defense. I like Eric Rowan, but I picked a random free agent. That's fair. Yeah, we might see some free agents on Sunday. I think there's going to be one that's going to shock a lot of people here. So, on Ring of Honor TV yesterday, there was a title match for the TV title. So Rush is in the corner. Referee's coming to grab the title. He's like, "Do you have to? Do you need it?" Oh, this is going to be hilarious for the first bit. So once again, everybody, I will have next week's wrestling schedule up ready for tomorrow. They did announce that Collision next week will be on Thursday rather than Saturday, which makes sense. Like, let's not even kid ourselves. I think we were all bracing for that already. I'm expecting Marseille Machine Guns to wait until they're in Detroit on Wednesday. That to me made a lot of sense when I found out about that. And I was watching a quick video by Deporticus. If you guys remember, he was the guy that rated out to us on Wednesday. He was showing a video, and he let me know that AEW's in Detroit on Wednesday, which that would make 100% make sense. Wonder if these guys ever had a match in GCW. They might have. Has Clone ever been in GCW? I don't think so. Like, Clone is straight out of Mexico, right? No. They signed him out of CMLL. Yeah, he's going to shows in Detroit on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, exactly. By the way, if you guys aren't following them, please do. I was actually watching their stream before we came in here tonight. They actually had their own little E-Fed. The ring was a World Cup theme, so pretty cool what they were doing. Makes me want to do a little bit more work with Crossfire coming up next week. I keep forgetting we're only 2 weeks away from Crossfire. Oh, commercial break. Like, things are going a little crazy here, so. Using the tag rope not in a tag match is crazy. Absolutely. Because if you don't know what they normally do for the... Because there is another tag match tonight, right? Like, our main event is a tag. So what they'll do is they'll take the rope and that little piece of fabric that's... yes, I know that's a bad visual to do that. But there's that piece of fabric that basically covers the thing that twists with the ropes. Sorry, there's a word in there that... oh, Gringo Loco, okay. All right, so he was in some GCW. Okay, that's fair. What's the term that got... oh, Gringo, that's what got locked up. That's funny. But no, thanks for finding that out, Nats. I appreciate that. But no, he didn't get signed out of GCW. He got signed out of AAA, actually, I do believe. Him and Hologram sort of came as a package deal. Because apparently the story that they ran in Mexico, they were sort of a brother tag team. But yeah, it was quite a coup at the time when Hologram signed. So, unfortunately, injuries just get the better of you. And I do hope they do get to play off the storyline that they were eventually looking at. They were first going to be opponents, and then they were going to become partners eventually. That's usually the way that those kind of storylines go through, especially with two guys that look exactly the same. Forgive me, folks. It's the last. We're actually going to get back to somewhat normal temperatures around here starting tomorrow, so we're just having to survive the last few days here. But no, I really do hope that we get, like, I hope we get some surprises on They wrestle once before, okay. But also, that was what, 2 years ago? And that was also one very different gimmick ago. Well, Leo got busted open during the break. And his eyes are going completely red. 17 minutes? Cool. Yeah, and I remember about Arez. Oh, he's busted open early. Okay. I missed it. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. I love the guy too. Works so much better with that mask the way it is. But no, I do expect a few surprises coming up on Sunday. The big surprise I think we're going to get, to be perfectly frank. Oh, nice. Thank you for that, Nets. The one surprise I do expect to see tomorrow, Kyrie. I do think we get to see Kyrie show up. She's going to be the one who defends Stardom against Tekla. If they're not going to give Tekla a title match, they're damn well going to give her a big profile match. See, I don't know if Charlie's going to be in good shape. She's preparing for her match on Wednesday. As she's got her final match in the her final match in the Force by Fire round robin tournament. As she's going to be taking on Snow Penguin, and you know, this jockeying for first place is going to be very interesting. Would not be surprised, but extremely happy. Yeah, here's the thing: like anybody that shows up tomorrow, I think Charlie might be the only real surprise because she's been out for so long. Like hell, even Zelina had Andrade in her exit promo, I think is the way to put it. And Clone gets it. So Leo's out. Clone's going to be in the ladder match. Betting Shotzi getting close to coming over. She's got that MLW title though. That's the thing. I know they're working together, but being the MLW World Champion, World Featherweight Champion as they call it, I don't know if that's going to be. Oh, Speedball coming up. Like I said, he looks like he just came off bartending a shift at Kokomo. I will take your Sheamus bold prediction. Zelina's video was cool, absolutely. But all the talking about all the past and the future and what's going to be happening. Brian Cage, what he did, it was actually his match on Wednesday. It was replayed on Shitter, but what he did when he hit a brogue kick in the trios match during the main event, and he literally yelled at the crowd, "That's the only brogue kick you're gonna see." So Speedball looks like he works at the same restaurant as Constable Corbin. I swear to God. Dude, Sheamus versus Cage? Yeah. Could you imagine? Also, he owns shoes. I like I said, he just looks like a bartender to me with that outfit, which I don't mind, but the Jet's such a star for 24. Yeah, like there's something there. Let's put it that way. If the AEW roster wasn't as loaded as it is up top, he probably would be champion right now. But he still needs a little bit of seasoning yet, I think. Reminds me of Young Swerve from 2015. Fair. That is absolutely fair. My God. Just looking at this card as it's running through right now, like it is absolutely amazing what we're going to. And we got the double chain match that they set up on, once again, on social media. And folks, we're going to be done an hour early tomorrow. Just remember that. By 11, we should be done. Match of the night will be Bandito Fletcher. I'll be honest, Nats, I do believe that will be the longest match of the night. Bandito and Fletcher. If it isn't going to be the Bucks and this is an amazing card and we look at it and say it's a B-level pay-per-view. Yeah, like bruh. Think of the, yeah, like, why are they ending at 11? Because they're starting early. Remember, okay, well, this segue, as tradition, before our main event, I give you a bit of a rundown what's going on the channel. So tonight, after we're done here, we got Backbreaker Pro Wrestling coming up. We got Diamond taking on Anna Reyes in Pool B action to wrap up Pool B in the Forged by Fire tournament. We're also going to get Kayla J taking on Madeline in Pool A action to wrap up that pool. And as well, we are going to have a triple threat match between Game Time Will Jackson. We have Nick Ontario. And we also have one half of the Premier Champion Experience, MCG. All partners will be at ringside for this match once again, as it is sort of a mini rematch between the teams, just the opposite partners here. And we'll have an announcement about what we're going to be doing at Crossfire for that. So, holy crap, here we go.
I'm back.
DLW, 3 months. Thank you for your sub. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for being a Players Elite member. Enjoy the special subs. Enjoy Frosty Tools glazing you over here. As always, appreciated. And then coming up after Backbreaker Pro tonight, tomorrow, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Remember the early start time. 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain, or ASS, as many people who pop in the chat here know it as. We will be here for AEW Redemption. We'll be here for the buy-in as well as the main card. We got lots to talk about guaranteed. So Monday we'll throw up a little MLB The Show. We should be able to get on a little bit earlier because once again the pay-per-view ends that much earlier. And then if I got a chance, it's either we're going to start on Tuesday night or else we're going to start on Thursday. Halo Campaign Evolved. We will be doing it on the channel here. I am so psyched for that. I'll show you when on the next stream. I'll show you the helmet. But we will be here for AEW Collision or AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, 8 Eastern, and we will be also here for. We will be here for Collision on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you buckle up, get ready to go. We will have discounted gift subs coming up tomorrow. We will have that set up, I do believe, for a 24-hour period. But tomorrow night we'll have gift subs. If you guys want to really help out the channel, groups of 5 gift subs will be 35% off. Hold on to them. Join me tomorrow. We'll do it there. But whether you're here lurking, chatting, or just looking for a great time, thank you for being here, both on YouTube and on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow. Tell all your friends. Hell, tell all your enemies. Let's get them all in here. Bang, bang. I guess that belongs to somebody else, so retract the bang, bang part. 8 years of history? Yeah, like that whole version of the Bullet Club. I don't know if the Bullet Club... I don't know if the Bullet Club gimmick has been... or the trademark has been given up yet. Technically, the Bullet Club trademark belongs to New Japan Pro Wrestling, so... Maya's fabulous. You know what? I will say this again. The story that she is telling is absolutely amazing. And I do hope she becomes successful here. The story she's telling us she's going through, and the story throughout her matches, like, if I was going to do a scoring system for... like a rating system, a Meltzer system, it would not be a single tier, it'd be a double tier. It would be story for one and execution on the other. Two scores out of 10. Because, for example, that Monet Maya match, as we talked about here on the channel before, the story was a 7. The execution was a 4. A 4 to a 5. Oh, we don't get Monet tonight. That's right. It's the champs versus the champs. It's a preview match. Will they coexist? So if you get a chance, Tekla was actually part of a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. I believe it was yesterday. Apparently the lineup was absolutely insane for her there. And she talked about her love of wrestling and the fact that she never really got into it until like 18, 19. Could you imagine if she was like a lifelong fan of wrestling and got to cultivate it over that much time? This is just recent. Like, let's call a spade here, folks. Two of the most, I'd have to say over wrestlers in the world right now are out of Austria. Like, we're looking at Tekla on one side, and on the men's side, like, despite the stop-start booking of Gunther, you gotta admit, like, he is the most dominating presence outside of Obafemi and Lesnar, right? Big wrestling country, Austria, yeah. Like,
Bruh.
I'll go with that one. It just turned out that it was just two of the best talents in the world are out of Austria right now. By the way, for anybody that's asking me about the card next weekend, I'm looking at Gunther and Aldis. Gunther's so over, he's fighting a brand manager to PLE. Yeah, that's... Like I said, despite booking... Because as far as I'm concerned, the booking has been absolute shit over there. I don't know if you guys saw the... I did repost it before, but there was a pic of that promo between Cody and Punk from Monday. And right above it, they had the picture of Beavis and Butthead because of the haircuts and everything. I'm still looking forward to that match between Nick Aldis and Gunther just because that crowd that doesn't know, right? Meanwhile, we get Cody main eventing for the higher time. Yeah, that's why I'm not really too over about it. Absolutely he was. He was a Douglas Williams and Nick Aldis, the British Invasion in TNA. And then he was known as Magnus at the time in TNA, but... He also had a specially match created for him. It was Magnus versus Jeff Hardy for the World Championship. It was a vacated title that the two of them were fighting, and it ended up being Magnus doing a heel turn there, but it was a... the way they did it, and I actually don't mind the concept, they put the title at the entranceway, right at the top. And it was a cage match in the cage was set up. Both wrestlers started in the cage. The door's locked. You can't get out that way, so you have to go over the top. So you had to climb the cage, go up the entranceway, and then climb a ladder to go get the title. It was a little bit convoluted, which was the style at the time. But I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the concept. I hated that they finished with a screwy finish on it, which is a whole different ball of wax. Folks, if you want to take a drink from your bottle, make sure you open up the lid. And that will be the fine tip from Mike for the day. Oh, absolutely. They should have done more. Well, you look at that tag division in TNA at that time. They screwed up so many teams down there. It wasn't even funny. Like, let's put it this way. Generation Me was like, just a tip from Mike.
Bruh.
I'm just going to throw that one there. TNA has never been afraid to create a new type of match. Well, frick, Vince Russo was... From what I remember, and I'll admit, folks, I haven't watched Dark Side of the Ring, so forgive me. TNA was kicked off of Spike TV at the time because they were told not to use Vince Russo, and they were using Vince Russo remotely. So, yeah. I'm... All right, chat, I'm going to ask you here. Favorite stipulation type of match and worst stipulation type of match? What was your favorite match that you have seen that involves some sort of stipulation versus what match was your worst stipulation you've ever seen? Because I've seen a few. And I will put one caveat on it. Take out all the pudding, swimming pool, playpen, all those stupid matches. Just they're another level of disgusting hell that Vince just had a fetish for. Best is strap dog collar match. Worst is hair versus hair. That's fair. Anything with a cage is difficult to watch in person, but I like it on TV. Yeah. Well, that's why they got rid of the red cages, because nobody could look through it. It was just a horrible view. Myself personally, I think my favorite match, and I know this is recency and as well promotion bias, it could seem like, but for me, the Casino Gauntlet is my favorite stipulation match. The worst one I've ever seen, I'm calling Kennel for Hell for 500, Alex. If you guys remember that match, Al Snow, Big Boss Man. It was 2 cages. The inner cage, there was an inner cage, then there was a big outer cage similar to Hell in the Cell size. There were dogs in between that were supposed to be nasty, snarly dogs. The best way to explain it, there were actually 2 dogs that humped each other in the ring, or around the ring. So, where's Judy Bagwell in a pole match? I will never take away from, like, it's not the best idea in the world. Let's put it that way. But it was literally just a pin on who gets to get Judy Bagwell down. That's all it ended up being. And yeah, the Monsters Ball and the Clockwork Orange House of Fun matches, like, what TNA's done with the storyline behind Monsters Ball now, because the difference between now and before, Monsters Ball, under the original sense, was literally, or no, I guess they did do it as a constant. The thing I like, who gets Judy Bagwell to go?
Bruh.
I'll just throw bro there for you. Having people isolated for 24 hours to see what kind of character they... The fact that TNA actually started to do some video work for that, I absolutely loved it. Feast or Fire was kind of dumb. Abso-freaking-lutely. The fact that you made it an annual match, that's the part that pissed me off. Use it when you got to get rid of, when somebody's leaving, but don't do it as a regular annual thing, because that almost forces you to get rid of somebody, even if you don't want to. What if there's nobody you want to get rid of and you have to do that match? Best elimination tag, worst war games. Sums up my feelings on Triple H has done the Survivor Series. Fair. Well, the War Games match, the only difference between the original War Games match and Triple H's version is, number one, they don't have a roof, and they put the rule if you leave, you're disqualified, which I think is horse shit, but it sort of helps accommodate the fact that you have less to worry about on it, right? I do prefer Blood and Guts because, well, it's more of the pure rules, right? Reverse Battle Royal and King of the Mountain. Anything else to do with the penalty box are on my list for worst. I like the King of the Mountain match. The only difference I would have made, getting a late favorite, Royal Rumble's my favorite type, most hated, Last Man Standing, actually, because no promotion has done a good one in years. Attaboy, Art. I love that. We're running over on a tape show. Remember when it went black? And of course Maya's eating the pin. Who would have figured that? Remember that we had that black moment on the screen? And I don't mean... Zodiac, don't twist my words on that. This is just the part, like, we're going over 5 minutes. That's the 5 minutes that the tape got fucked up. Yeah, Royal Rumble, absolutely one of my favorites as well. That's why I like the Casino Gauntlet, sort of the same thing. The only reason I like the Casino Gauntlet over the Royal Rumble is the fact that some people might not be the best to get over the top rope or the most believable. Might have been because of the extra long commercial. Yeah, so they're just going to run through the pay-per-view now, and no Mercedes out here, which does and doesn't surprise me, to be honest. And plus, they also have the free hour too, right? Because they're doing their countdown to Redemption on the show, so on the channel, so they get free. They got an hour advertising anyway. They can just cut into that if they need to. But yeah, great show tonight. Just good matches setting up for a great pay-per-view. I hope you guys all get an opportunity to come see it, whether you're watching over on YouTube or on Twitch. As we're having a lot of fun here, and I really do appreciate having y'all here as we go through this. And we had a lot of great stories. We'll talk more about match stipulations tomorrow, because we got a couple matches with them, with the ladder match for the number 1 contendership. Please bring back the golden donut. I want to see a golden donut. Or you know what? Make it a bowl of poutine. We're in Montreal. Make it a bowl of poutine at the top of that, where you have to climb up and grab it. Speedball will be up there in about 10 seconds. Guaranteed. But we also have the double dog collar match coming up tomorrow as well, with the dogs and the Bang Bang Gang, which that is going to be bloody, and probably bloody amazing too. So remember when WWE thought the way to solve a match ended in a double countout to have a last man standing? I also remember when they had a last man standing match ended in a double countout. That was fun. But no, and Art, to double back on you here and to comment about one of my favorite last man standing matches, that was actually it was actually Mickey James, I do believe, and I think it was Mickey James and Taya Valkyrie. Had an absolutely amazing one in TNA. As Mickey ended Taya's reign. Or, no, it was Mickey and Deonna. That's what it was. Mickey James, Deonna Purrazzo. It was a main event of one of their big four. And just a fantastic last woman standing match there. And it was under the Texas Death Rules, where you got to pin the person, then count to 10. It's the only thing that I found really weird about those kind of matches, but I digress. But with that being said, I think it's going to be tap out time here for the Sidecast. For those on Twitch, hang on for a sec here. For those on YouTube, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. We're going to be doing BPW Madness, featuring final matches in pools A and B of the Forged by Fire tournament, as well as our main event, Game Time Will Jackson taking on Nick Ontario, taking on MCG in a triple threat. We're going to have a little bit of chaos in our main event here, and yeah, it's going to be a fun one here, folks, so make sure you stop by and check things out. But next time we're going to be live over on the YouTube side. Oh, I could see adding a pin them longer to trigger the 10 count. I might have to check that out. That's what TNA does when they do their Texas Death. So do check that out. That was the original way that AEW did it as well, with Jon Moxley and Lance Archer when they did their Texas Death. When Archer won the title, was also I think it was Hangman and Archer as well that did that. For the first couple of years they did that, and then they just went off to the straight 10 counts. So yeah, just some little food for thought. That's the original way they used to do the last man standing match. So it would also give everybody a little bit of opportunity to remember whether this is the one that they're going to finish the match on or not. So AEW Texas Death is last man standing or now it is. I'm talking about circa 2021, 2022, 2020, pre-pandemic stuff as well. There has some there, so maybe I did like them. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just got to turn things around and. But anyway, YouTube, we will be back tomorrow with AEW Redemption. Remember the early start time. Pre-show, 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. in Winnipeg. And we are going to be starting an hour sooner across the board tomorrow. So, as always, folks, hit the like button, hit subscribe, tell all your friends, hell, tell all your enemies. And we will see y'all here next time on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel. Take care.